Greetings, and welcome to another edition of Seamless Style, powered by Politics and Polaroids. I'm your host, Mr. Parker. So, one of my illustrious followers on YouTube made a suggestion that I do a episode explaining or comparing and contrasting the difference between Northern prep and Southern prep. And that's a great idea, and great minds think alike, because I definitely was planning to do that. However, I was going to wait until March or April, because the biggest differences between Northern prep and Southern prep are usually in spring and summer wardrobe. There is Northern prep for fall and winter. There is Southern prep for fall and winter, but a lot of the pieces are a lot alike. Tweeds, duffel coats, things of that nature. So the fall and winter discrepancies are very, very subtle. However, once you get into spring and summer, those differences really show their heads. So I was going to wait, but then I decided, why not? I'll do it now. So that would explain why I'm wearing a seersucker suit in January. Now, actually, a couple of days ago, it probably was warm enough. It was 68 degrees here in North Carolina. So me wearing a seersucker suit wouldn't have been out of the realm, because it was so freaking hot around here. Global warming again. But that explains why I'm wearing this seersucker suit. I wanted to show you one of the many options that will describe Southern prep. So this particular seersucker suit is Ralph Lauren, of course. It's Blue Label. It's vintage Blue Label. I did have some alterations done to the pants, because I've never seen a seersucker suit with slim fit pants. They've always been that classic fit. So I did have them tapered for a slimmer look. I may take it back to my tailor before the weather breaks and have her shorten it some. I like my jacket to maybe be 1.5 inches or even 2 inches up this way. But seersucker is a cotton material. It's very lightweight. You really only wear it in spring and summer. The more wrinkled it looks, the more wrinkled it gets, the better it actually looks in a lot of people's opinions. It has a corduroy feel. So to me, seersucker is like a very thin spring version of corduroy, almost, as far as how it feels, and to some aspects as far as how it looks. Seersucker paired with madras, the patchwork, is the Indian madras, is huge in Charleston, South Carolina, which, when you talk southern cities, Charleston, Savannah, they're top of the list as far as getting that pure, authentic southern hospitality, country, down home type of vibe. Charleston is one of my favorite cities ever. It gets very hot in Charleston in the spring and summer, so seersucker comes in handy, because seersucker actually is built to keep you cool. I paired this particular seersucker suit with a soft pink Oxford with the club collar, and I did this tie here. It's got a polo match motif at the bottom of it. It's Kelly green. It is Blue Label. And I have on some brown and cream wingtips on my feet. Put a Blue Label gingham pocket square in here. Matching Blue Label seersucker cap for the entire seersucker ensemble. Now, if I was in Charleston, or if I was in Savannah, or if I was at, say, any type of equestrian event, this would be fine. Now, if I decided to wear my seersucker suit out and about here in Charlotte, I probably would lose the hat. I'd probably have on some shades and cut my, make sure my bald head is nice and slick. I don't really have any other caps that I would personally like to wear with a seersucker. Maybe a straw fedora, maybe. But otherwise, like I said, if I was gonna wear my seersucker suit out for the day, brunch or whatever, just out and about in Charlotte, I probably would lose the cap. But if I'm going to any type of equestrian event, if I'm vacationing in Charleston, vacationing in Savannah, then all three pieces would probably go with me. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do a couple of outfits, a couple of ensembles on the rig, and we're going to compare and contrast northern and southern prep as far as actual visuals, because there's many ways to discuss it and tell you the difference. I'd rather just show you. So let's get started. Okay, so this is an example of an ensemble that more represents Southern preppy style. Let's say it's April, May, there's a lawn party, there's an equestrian event, you're doing brunch with a lady friend, something of that nature. This is something that you could definitely put on, and you representing Southern prep to the fullest. Now, one of the mainstays in Northern prep and Southern prep is the Nantucket red chinos. It's common across the board, whether you're Northern prep, Southern prep, if there's a Western prep, a European prep, an Australian prep, everybody loves the Nantucket red chinos. So this particular ensemble, I actually have 3 pair of Nantucket red chinos. I didn't realize that till I was preparing for this vlog. So I don't even know why I have that many. I know one pair has buttons for braces on the inside of it, which is rare. So, you know, I understand that pair, but the other 2 pair, I'm not exactly sure why I have so many, but I do love Nantucket red chinos. So this particular pair of Nantucket red chinos is my heavier of the 3. It has what I call sun-dried distress in it. As you can see right here, I don't know if you can see it. You know how my lighting is, but it's, you know, a little kind of sun-dried here. This particular pair has the rowing oars on the back instead of the pony, so it's more of the nautical Nantucket red chinos. Paired it with a white woven, not an Oxford, because again it's a little warm outside, so we did a just a regular cotton woven shirt, long sleeve. Bow tie for that whimsical look, and a bow tie is definitely more Southern prep than it is Northern prep. Northerners wear bow ties too. Some Southerners don't wear bow ties. Nothing is ever to the extreme when it comes to style and fashion, especially when we're talking Northern prep and Southern prep. However, bow ties are typically more whimsical, more colorful, so that will go along the lines of Southern prep. But I did a bow tie here in navy blue to bring out the blue in this wonderful blazer. Now this is a lightweight blazer. It's not linen, it's cotton, but it's a very lightweight blazer. It's definitely spring, summer. Navy, white based, and it has some subtle green striping in this blazer. It's beautiful. 2-button, single vented in the back. If you want to flip your collar, you can do so, and you'll have that navy showing there. And then if that sun's beating down, we throw on our straw fedora, and that completes the look. You could go with, actually, you know what'll look good is the same brown and cream wingtips that I have on today would go really good with this. But you could do a tan driver or something of that nature. You know, keep it medium to dark tan, casual dress to dress shoe. I wouldn't do any sneakers here. You could if you wanted to. It's kind of lazy to throw on a pair of white canvas with this full ensemble, but you could get away with it. I wouldn't do it. But yeah, that completes this look, this Southern prep look. Spring, going out for the day with your significant other, cotillions, outdoor lawn parties, any outdoor event where you want to get a little spicy with your ensemble. This is how you can roll if you represent Southern Prep. Now I'll return and do the same style, the same time period, but in the Northern Prep version. Okay. So we're up north, New York, Boston, Connecticut. We're attending the same type of event as the previous outfit. So some type of lawn party, one of the PGA tour, maybe a tournament, brunch, same scenarios. This would be representative of more of a Northern Prep look. So we kept the same chinos and we kept the same shirt, but Northern Prep is a lot more muted when it comes to color. It's a lot more subdued. Northern Prep doesn't lend to flashy, charismatic, brash color and pattern combinations as opposed to Southern Prep. So a gentleman, say he's born and raised in, again, Connecticut or Boston. Maybe some guy that's born and raised in Beacon Hill, and he's true Northern Prep. Went to a preparatory school, attended Boston College or BU or Harvard or something of that nature. This may be something you would see that gentleman in on a regular basis or at some type of event wherever he may be, because he's more Northern Prep. So the navy blue blazer with the gold buttons, it's a staple. It's a mainstay. I wouldn't even consider it to be purely owned by Northern Prepsters or Southern Prepsters. A navy blue blazer with gold button is something that every gentleman should have in his closet, whether you're preppy or not, whether you're Ivy or not, whether you're trad or not, whether you give a damn about fashion or not. Having a navy blue blazer with gold buttons in your closet is a must. You have to do that. Of course, I'm biased. I feel like Ralph Lauren has the best navy blue blazers with gold buttons. However, Brooks Brothers has a pretty good navy blue blazer with gold buttons as well, and it's also very popular. A lot of gentlemen have it. You could even cut a corner and buy a navy blue blazer, say by some off-brand company, or like Saddlebred. You could go to Belk if you would go to Belk. Like, I don't know why anybody would, but you could go to Belk and get a Saddlebred navy blue blazer, and then you can actually go into Brooks Brothers, and I think it's even possible for Ralph Lauren as well. I'm not sure, but you can actually go buy gold buttons and then take it to your tailor and have them sew the gold buttons on, and boom, you got a navy blue blazer with gold buttons, and you didn't pay Ralph Lauren or Brooks Brothers money. Now you get what you paid for. I don't know how long that Saddlebred blazer is going to last you compared to this Ralph Lauren blazer that I've had for over 10 years and not a fray on it. But if you got to cut a corner, you got to cut a corner, and I get it. Anyway, back to our ensemble. Navy blue blazer, gold buttons. We did the navy blue rep tie with the narrow white stripes on it, right? Pairs well with our navy blue blazer and our white button-down collared woven. And then we went with a simple white handkerchief folded into a poof, and boom, that's our Northern Preppy look. Unbutton it, and you can see how our tie is hanging, no tie bar. This guy has a long enough tie to where he gets that length off the narrow back piece to give it that look there. If it's, you might have your haircut, nice haircut, whatever, you might want to just throw on a pair of shades, or if you want to throw on a cap, this particular driving cap works well. Navy blue with chalk white stripes complements the tie, coordinates perfect with this ensemble. And then if it's me and I'm going with this Northern Preppy look, I'm just going to do some brown penny loafers, Ralph Lauren, but Weegens makes a nice pair, popular pair, but just a plain brown pair of penny loafers, of course, with either a penny or a dime in it. And that's my look. And I'm rocking and rolling. I'm representing. I'm Northern prepping. I got my my koozie and my beer, and I'm good to go. That's how them Ivy boys do it when they have those spring and summer events. They keep that koozie, they keep that beer. All right, so I want you to do one more outfit in the Southern prep, and then compare and contrast with the Northern prep, and then we'll be done for the day. All right. Okay, so we're still in the compare and contrast of Northern prep and Southern prep. I decided to change ensembles. I wanted to give you a spring, pre-spring, spring, summer outfit for outings in the South. The Indian Madras blazer, sports coat, by Rugby Ralph Lauren. There are quite a few different variations of this sports coat by Ralph Lauren. Blue Label makes one, of course. Like I said, this is Rugby. Rugby made a couple, I think. Subtle differences in the shade, but you know they're all different. And they're all representative of the Indian Madras. This is definitely a Charleston, South Carolina look, a Savannah, Georgia look, but this is also North Carolina influential too. You know, quite a few people in the know in this state keep a Indian Madras sports coat in their collection. Anyway, I went with the Rugby Ralph Lauren Indian Madras sports coat, the spring Indian Madras trapper cap, you know, just for the whimsical aspect. Went with a all over Griffin necktie for that, you know, give it that little collegiate feel. And I'm doing braces today, also in the Indian Madras, on my Nantucket red chinos and a club collared chambray dress shirt and tan loafers, just a regular pair of tan penny loafers. So that's my look that I switched into. Now, let me paint the picture for you, because artists paint pictures. So let me paint the picture for you. It's a early spring day, maybe the weekend, you're off, whatever. High of maybe, let's say 60, 62. There are, believe it or not, there are different 60-degree days. In the South, a 60-degree day probably feels a little warmer than in the North or in the Midwest. On the West Coast, depending on, let's say if you're in San Francisco, a 60-degree day in San Francisco probably feels a little different than a 60-degree day in LA. But for this particular scenario, we're going to focus, since we're doing Northern prep and Southern prep, let's keep each particular prepster in their most comfortable environment. So let's say we're down south, 62-degree day, you're invited to a cookout, 62-degree day, a little overcast, maybe just a little bit of wind, not much, but you know, it's definitely not cold outside. And the cookout, let's say the cookout is scheduled for 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, something like that. So, you know, you're probably going to be out there until the sun goes down. So this would be an ensemble that a true Southern prep would probably choose to wear. Southern prep gentlemen would probably choose to wear. We could start off with the college green chinos, which is middle of the road between fall and spring. You could definitely consider it more fall than spring, but it definitely works for spring as well. We get the Oxford here, which is the hibiscus floral print Oxford, right? You got the Columbia blue base. You have different hues of pink in the hibiscus flowers. You have the green foliage, and you have the iconic Oxford material and button-down collar. All right. So what we would do is throw on this rugby tweed blazer. It's a medium weight, not too heavy, definitely not too light. And just because we're Southern preppy, we'll throw this merino wool v-neck sweater, Pima cotton v-neck sweater over our shoulders. Now this is, to me, this is a newer look that Ralph Lauren kind of brought to the forefront. Now I'm not sure if in the Ivy and Trad tradition, this is something that's not new and I just overlooked it. But I've only started seeing this maybe about 5 or 6 years ago. There was a Ralph's Coffee ad. The gentleman had on a sweater over his blazer. I thought it was pretty cool, and I feel like I pulled it off with success a few times. But it's actually a functional look because again, we're talking about 62 degrees, early March, late February, early March in the South. 62-degree day, a little overcast, so there's no chance of rain, but it's, partly cloudy. And we're talking about being outdoors until maybe 8, 9 o'clock or even later. So it's actually a functional look because it does tie everything together very well. It's a nice Southern preppy look, but then if it gets a little cooler at night and you're still outside, take your blazer, take your sports coat off, throw your sweater on over top, throw your sports coat back on. This is lighter than the sports coat. Maybe you step outside, you get to the barbecue, and it's a little warmer than you thought. Take your tweed sports coat off, throw it in the back seat of your car, throw your sweater on, or throw it on over your shoulders, however you want to do it. Your look is still vintage Southern prep. So, and again, with this look, you could do a bow tie or a necktie. I would strongly suggest something solid, or if you did do something with a pattern, I would probably only do stripes, and I would probably want them to be subtle striping, not any wide stripes on the necktie or the bow tie. As far as headwear, you could do a complimentary driving cap or a complimentary newsboy cap. But you could also do a dad cap. You could also do a dad cap if you had a pink one with a green polo player or something to that effect. You could throw that on your head too, and it'll work with this ensemble. So now let's get ready to do the same scenario. But let's say the gentleman is true Northern prep, and the particular barbecue is in Philadelphia. All right, we'll do that next. Okay, so we're talking same scenario, 62 degree day, early March, late February, up north, Pennsylvania, New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, somewhere in that area. We're talking an outdoor barbecue, close friends, family throwing a cookout. So 62 degrees, like I said earlier, up north is a little bit different than 62 degrees down south. It could tend to be, a little cooler. So we're talking the same partly cloudy type of situation. So what would a traditional Northern prepster wear? Well, he'd probably start off with his trusty slim fit navy blue chinos. Okay? We do the navy blue stretch chinos, brown belt, brown loafers. We throw on a medium, this is probably closer to a heavier tweed. We throw on the Polo Blue Label herringbone tweed blazer, tweed sports coat. We throw on the knit Oxford because we do have on a heavier tweed than the Southern prepster would wear. But even though that 62 degrees is a little cooler than it would be in Atlanta, Georgia, it's still 62 degrees. So we're not going to throw on a Oxford, but a heavier traditional Oxford, but the knit Oxford, which is a lighter weight and keeps you a little cooler. We'll throw that on here in the Columbia blue with the white chalk stripe. Now, because we're Northern Prep, we may be a little more country club, a little more estate. So, being that Northerners tend to love the spring and summer at least more than I do, I like the cold. But Northerners love spring and summer. So, couldn't wait to break out one of our cricket sweaters. The traditional cream cable knit with the navy and gold stripes here, and on the neck we'll wear it up a little higher just to show that off, just to flex it a little bit. This is the exact same sweater that Mr. Ralph Lauren wore in the Very Ralph documentary, by the way. Great minds, you know how that go. But yeah, we just throw that on the shoulder here. We're Northern Prep, we could even unbutton it, tie it around the waist under the blazer a little bit, might rock it that way. And then, like I said, we're outside till the sun goes down. It gets a little cooler. You take the blazer off, throw the sweater on, throw the blazer back on if need be. So we're functional, we're comfortable as far as our temperature, and we're good to go. Me personally, if I'm in my Northern Prep bag, I probably don't do a dad cap. I probably only do the tweed newsboy cabbie estate driving cap. I probably go that route, and I have a couple that complement this blazer very well. But in conclusion, this would be one of the many options, of course, but this will be one of the options that a Northern Prep traditionalist would wear to that particular type of function in that particular environment. You know, things are never to the extreme. There are some gentlemen that are born and raised in Nantucket and New York, and they love color. They don't mute anything. They wear what Southern Prepsters wear, and there are some Southern Prepsters that are very understated in their ensembles and their attire. So none of this is an exact science, but I am just comparing and contrasting the Southern Prep and the Northern Prep on a traditional level. Doesn't mean anybody has to wear this or has to wear that. This is just if you're in your Northern Prep bag, this would be something that you would do. If you're in your Southern Prep bag, this may be something that you would do. It really all depends on you. You do what makes you feel the most comfortable. Oh, yeah. I don't care what time of year it is. Ralph's coffee straight from the French press is always a yes, please. Hold on. Damn, it's good. So, I wanted to show you that quite often I participate in Northern Prep. I just like prep in general. Like, I've never thought twice about whether I was dressing Northern Prep or dressing Southern Prep. I do understand and recognize the differences. It's just, for me, prep has always just been prepping. It's something that I love. But I wanted to show you guys me actually being dressed in Northern Prep. So picture this quick scenario. Western New York, or no, matter of fact, forget that. New York City. May. 70 degrees, maybe 68, 70, something like that. Very little clouds. The sun's not beaming, but it's out. And it's a yacht party. A little cruise ship action, whatever. Whatever river, Hudson, it don't matter. The point is, you know, I love to be theatrical. I love themes. So I'd probably break out my very lightweight. I'm almost positive this is a linen blend, but my very lightweight rowing blazer. Second 8 rowing blazer. Got it's cream with the black piping, vintage gold buttons. It's blue label. I throw up under it my light to medium weight rugby cricket sweater that's black with the cream chevron. I throw on my white and black piped 2nd 8 6-inch shorts. Yes, white and cream actually go pretty well together, especially in the spring and summer. Lightweight woven dress shirt, black, a little tint of gray and white. And I have a pair of white suede monk straps that I also possibly would wear for that particular event, but I think I'd probably break these out. Just a nice pair of leather polo blue label sneakers, black leather, white sole, got a little bit of wear and tear to them, so you know they kind of go with the whole thing. And this will probably be what I would throw on my feet. Like I said, I got a pair of white monk straps. You know, if I was throwing on neckwear and wanted to dress it up a little more, I could throw those on. I have a pair of white drivers that I probably could pull off, even though they have a navy and red ribbon going across the vamp. But I could probably still pull that off if I wanted to. But this would probably be what I would throw on. In closing, Southern Prep, Northern Prep, we did a compare and contrast the differences for men. Now, I will speak quickly to what knowledge I do have when it comes to women in Southern Prep. It's kind of sort of the same scenario. Southern belles tend to be a little more flashy with their ensembles, year-round colors, things of that nature, but they do go with the darker hues in fall and winter down south. Now we talking about Miami, where they don't really get any cold weather like that. Then it's pastels or loud flamboyant prints year round. That's almost a given. That's why so many people vacation in Miami in the fall and the winter. And to contrast that, girls that are women that are raised up north, they're just like the gentlemen. They're usually a little more muted in what they wear, the colors, things of that nature, especially fall, winter, but even to a certain degree in the spring and the summer. Now, I think that the one thing about women, Southern Prep women and Northern Prep women, that's universal across the board when it comes to spring and summer, is Lily Pulitzer. Those, I don't care where a woman is from, they rock those dresses, and a lot of you rock it well. I give you thumbs up. I like Lily Pulitzer as far as a brand for women. I think it exudes confidence when you can throw on a Lily Pulitzer dress and a pair of strap sandals and a straw hat and do your thing. So, but that's one brand and particular piece or pieces that for women, whether you're Northern Prep or Southern Prep, is usually across the board a woman will wear it. But this is a men's safe space, so we're talking men's clothes. I just wanted to throw that out there though, because the differences are subtle, but they're there even with the women. That being said, that's another episode in the books. Get in the comments section and just tell me whether or not you consider yourself to be Northern Prep or Southern Prep or both. If you're neither, you probably stopped watching this vlog about 15 minutes ago, so whatever. But yeah, get in the comment section and just let me know if you consider yourself to be Northern Prep, Southern Prep, or both. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, tell a friend, because we here. And remember, artists paint pictures, haters paint narratives. Don't be a hater. Have a good one.